I welcome you guys into my next video over here. I understand every single day I try to do at least 1 hour of my videos, so I understand that what's important is understand that, guys, you must be producing content and video content right now. You must understand that it's very important to start journaling your life every single day. I have a journal. I have a nice beautiful notepad in my nice beautiful phones. I have two phones, and the reason I have two phones is because I can record with one phone or play Bluetooth with one phone and MP3 with one phone while I'm really, let's say, writing with the other one. So I'm always writing something down. I'm always doing something to expand my emotions. I understand today it's a beautiful day because today I get to do my work once again, because what's important every single day is making sure that you go and do something very courageous for yourself and making sure that you're going broad. I mean, when you speak out and you're speaking out something, I mean, make sure that you never get intimidated by anything in terms of your life, because understand that you have to speak it out in a better way. So the best way to speak out in terms of life and in terms of teaching is go the best way and speak the best way in terms of understanding that when you go broadly, you understand that you'll speak to 10,000 people in one time, or you speak to 1 billion people or more at once, and not just one individual one-on-one. I mean, do you understand? I don't do any live coaching calls or anything one-on-one anymore. I understand that what's important is I do have a free service line and I do help people on that, but I understand that it's been up there for 4 months now and nobody is really contacting me because of my following. I understand either way, I have 600 hours of content and more online, so either way they don't need me, so that's good for me because I get to go and do I today instead of them. I understand that what's important is you never need other people to talk on, you never need other people to talk to other than yourself. I mean, understand that the whole point of life is understand that when I go and talk to people online, I just go to inspire them, I go to write them a message about my life, I go to update them, and that's that. I mean, I just update them. I don't need their messages. I see where they're coming from. I see who they are straight away. I mean, anything that I have, I give it, because I understand that when I receive something, I am much more in a blessing to do so, because when I give you something, you must receive it. I mean, what can you receive? You can receive anything. I mean, understand that when you're receiving more and more throughout life, you'll be more, you will do more, you will be more courageous. But understand either way that I have to bring my nice beautiful table from my nice beautiful capsule, in terms of my time capsule here at the nice beautiful Q Space Hotel. Put it on the floor here and I can just do a nice beautiful video just like this, where I don't have to hold my selfie stick anymore. I understand that what's important is make sure that every single day you're just expanding your emotions and you're doing the best you can in terms of your peak performance, because I understand that no matter what, for example, I have mentors such as Brendon Burchard and all these mentors who are really understanding life much more than yesterday, and you have to understand to go to Nick Vujicic and Brendon Burchard, and you also have, for example, John Raymond. I understand that these people are always something that is credible in my life, because I understand they give knowledge, I understand they give entrepreneurship every single day, and they do something to promote themselves regardless. I understand that what's important every single day is that I go and advertise myself on the street somewhere as much as I can, because I have to do this video anyway, so why not come and advertise myself for about an hour or 2 hours. But I understand that 1 hour is for sure. I have to come out into life and advertise myself and just be around people here and there. I understand that although that when I go and do that, I make sure to go into a street performance first, and if it's raining such as today, I understand I don't even do a street performance because it's not worth being in the rainfall. I understand that what's worth it is doing my content anyway, regardless of the people around me, because I understand communication skills is something that really broadens your career and helps you every single day to do something very special. And what is special is this video, because this video is going to teach people something about life, and that's how I really give an act of kindness. I understand every single day, the more you help people, or else the bigger your reputation. So realize that throughout time, I realize you're going to be doing your career, but I understand that most people are not going to follow you in life. You have to understand that the bigger you are in terms of your legacy, the more people will follow you. So the best thing you can do every single day is go make sure that you go promote yourself in front of people as best as you can, because it's much more privileging for yourself to be in front of people and public speaking than to public speak online somewhere. I promise you it's much of a better advertisement to be around street performance while people are looking at you, and be in one city for that and become well known in that city as long as you can. So go and do it as long as you can, because that way people are going to recognize your name over and over again, and they're going to see you around streets, or they're going to see you around town, and then they will promote you. And I realize that now I have an average of around 50 people every single day visiting my nice beautiful YouTube channel. I understand either way that it goes from 150 to over 120. I understand either way every single day people are coming to visit my nice beautiful YouTube channel, but I understand that they're not watching my material as much. I understand, although, that I produce a lot of content, so they have no time for it. I understand either way that I have no time for them. I have no time for them. I have time to give my content. I have time to do my life. I have time to strategize my life around the coronavirus today. I have time to make sure that I can go and travel and do what I need to do so that I can get away from the 9-to-5 job, and so that I can life coach myself at least to make sure that I have the best life, because that's the whole point of life. I realize the whole point of life is make sure that you're above and beyond and giving above and beyond in your life. I mean, make sure that you understand that no matter what you're doing in life, you must be promoting yourself. You must be understanding that the more you do it, or else the more you'll be, you must understand to look at people with emotions. I realize expand your emotions at them. I mean, just fly high with your emotions. I mean, make sure that your emotions is gaining knowledge, because don't do the drugs, but understand to go sober, because that's how I really am able to be confident on camera. I understand when I was doing meth and when I was doing ecstasy pills and when I was fat, I didn't want to be on the camera much because I was very unconfident about what I want to do in life. I didn't have a passion. I didn't have much of a coaching strategy, but I did eventually get up on camera in terms of my room, in terms of course 1. You can come and check it out in terms of my how-to series. I started to teach and I was very fat. I understand I wasn't as fat as before in that video, but I was starting to lose weight. I understand I started though. I understand now because I start every single day a new chapter of my life. I understand either way that new chapter breeds new ideas. And then when I give you those ideas, I go and guide you throughout life in my nice beautiful coaching strategy every single day. I'll give you a nice beautiful 1-hour coaching strategy about how to go throughout life even better than yesterday. So every single day you have to catch up to my material, you have to catch up to all the knowledge I do, because the more you read from me, the more inspirational you're going to be, because that information is something that helps you. I help you for the information. So when you connect to that information in terms of life, and you read more of it from any individual, I mean, you'll be much more inspirational, because that's something that you read. You must be able to read daily, you must be able to read more. I understand Brendan Burchard just posted a 5-hour video for New Year's Day. I mean, a 5-hour video with coaches, and he has a 5-hour coaching call with those individuals, and I just listen. I watch 5 hours of material. I understand that 5 hours of imagery, I watch in less than 1 minute. So what I do is I go really quickly, I push the cursor like this so the video loads. I mean, I need the video to load in YouTube. So what I do is I make sure I load it, and then what happens is I just go with the cursor to load my video. I have to load my video. I realize once I load the video, I then watch just the images of the 5-hour show to see how did they produce the video and who came on and what happened inside the 5 hours of imagery of that video. So I just go really quickly, within less than a minute, I watch it. And then what I do is I put on ×2 on YouTube. And then what I do is I watch it in 2.5 hours. I listen to the audio program while I'm uploading Instagram photos, or while I'm journaling something down, or while I'm planning my life, or while I'm eating or drinking, or maybe even walking somewhere or shopping or whatever. I understand either way, I'm reading while I do something. I mean, do you understand? So I'm always consciously reading something. I understand either way that if there's nothing to do, I read. I read something. I read the Twitter trends. I go on Instagram, I see the ideas there. I'm always constantly looking for those ideas on Instagram. So images in terms of life will give you a lot of, let's say, ideas. I go on Netflix, I start to watch all these Netflix films, and I start to really consciously go on Google Trends, for example. In terms of Twitter, I start to go and check out all the trends. I start to check out YouTube in terms of the news every single day. I start to go and be more interesting. So what I do is I make sure to plan my life. I make sure to go and do something that's really going to help me read something. So I go see my entrepreneurs and see what they're doing every single day, and I tune in, and then I may write somebody a message of a smart ass comment or something like, I love you so much, and then I'll just leave. And then either way, that helps cheer me up, because I need to say I love you to somebody. And even if it's a girl who doesn't reply ever, I don't care, but I just want to say I love you. I mean, so no matter what I do, I understand I'm always encouraging people to do the same. I understand when I do that, I understand Brendan Burchard, for example, has a 5-hour video today. I read it in less than 2.5 hours, because I read it double the speed. I realize now on YouTube there's a limit on how fast you can read it, but I understand either way that it's 2 times the speed. But what I can do with Brendan Burchard's nice beautiful audio program and all my entrepreneurs in terms of their audio, I can just really summon up what they're really talking about in the video. I don't have to watch 5 hours of it. I understand I can just go like this and go to the segment of 4 minutes, and then 5 minutes, and then 20 minutes, and then 1 minute, and then I can go to the 1 hour section, and I can go to the 2.5 hour section, and just read a couple of sentences here and there. And what happens is I get an overall view and direction of what they're talking about, and that's the basis, and that's all you really need. I mean, as long as you understand what they're talking about, you can move on now. I mean, if you really want to dive into that information and just listen to those ideas that they're giving, of course it's nice and beautiful for you to just read it. I mean, just read it all together. I mean, either way, what you can do is you can just summarize the video for yourself. I mean, you don't have to watch a 10-hour video. You can summarize the video in less than 10 minutes. I mean, do you understand? You just skip the parts, but you watch the images and you skip the audio and just read for 10 minutes of that nice, beautiful equation and summarize the video about what they're talking about and the direction they're taking you in. And that's that. Otherwise, that's the whole point of speed reading. So you can do that also. I understand I'm always searching for those ideas. I'm always searching for the better ideas out there, because I have to be an idea freak. I have to be able to give you those ideas. So I have to be able to coach myself more ideas. And the way I do that is I read every single day something new. And that way I push myself with my emotions to talk and talk and talk. I understand if you feel tired, or it's because you're fatigued with yourself. I understand it's because you have no water. I understand now drink some water when you feel tired, because it can be fatigue. And it can be something that can be an issue for you if you don't drink water. You have to understand that when I get tired, I understand I have to go and drink water, because something water in terms of life. I understand when I drink water, because I drink soy milk here and there, sometimes I never forget. I understand that I just go and drink water when I feel tired. I understand today I have, let's say, a better idea, because I understand when you have a dry mouth, I understand that's when you're dehydrated. So drink more and more water, and understand either way that no matter what you're doing, you're not going to die in life, but understand that what's important is growth. I understand that throughout time, you must understand that no matter what you're doing, you have to understand that around Australia now, I understand they're closing the borders, even on the roads. So if you're trying to travel through Byron Bay to Queensland, you have to understand that the borders are there and the police will stop you. I understand that I did do that last year. I understand I got through, I actually went through. But I understand that what's important is understand that if you're coming from a COVID hotspot somewhere, I understand they will not let you in to another state unless it's through quarantine. So understand that they're not fully blocking the nice, beautiful world from traveling. I understand it's just give $3,000 every single time you travel somewhere. You have to go into a hotel for 14 days. I mean, if you want to go to Spain today, you have to give $3,000 for quarantine, and it's $215 a night at a hotel over there in Spain, and then you have to be there 14 days, and then you can go to the city and whatever. I mean, understand that they just put you in a government accommodation, and what you do is you just go your way, but you have to be in that accommodation. I mean, do you understand? And why they're doing that? Or else they just want some money from you. Or else that's it. Or else now most of the population cannot afford $3,000 for quarantine. I mean, do you understand? I mean, 90% of the world cannot afford it. I can afford it. I can afford it long term. I understand everybody can afford it long term. But right now, I can afford it. I understand it's always that you must afford it. You must understand that there's a better idea than going traveling somewhere when you cannot afford it. You must understand there's always something that you can afford. So do what you can afford only. And don't do anything that's expensive, and don't do anything that's cheap. I mean, understand that sometimes a $1 socks is not cheap. I mean, it's really affordable. I mean, let's understand that no matter what, I went to Hobart, I realized I actually invested in myself in terms of my nice, beautiful socks, and I have a nice, beautiful saying that when I get these socks, I understand I really got them. I understand this lady goes, that's cheap. I said it's affordable though. I understand it's affordable. I understand it's not cheap. I don't look at life as cheap or expensive. I look at it in terms of what is affordable for me to have the best ideas in the planet. And when I do that daily, I go and find myself a YouTube channel or something like that, and I go and put my content out there. I understand no matter what, that Brendan Burchard right now has a beautiful website, and he has all these mentors, and what he's doing every single day is I'll update you about my mentors and what they're doing. I understand every single day it's a nice idea to do so that other people can understand what other people around I are doing. I understand, for example, Brendan Burchard is charging you $1 per month to go and subscribe. I mean, understand that when you go and subscribe every single day, you'll find out why you have to, thank you sir. I understand when you go and really subscribe, I understand this sir over here, I understand this man just grabbed my nice beautiful business card over there. I understand either way that what's important that you realize, I understand you say, I thank you sir, I thank you madam, I thank you very much. I mean, you just say something. I mean, you have to understand that no matter what, you have to understand that every single day, that Brendan Burchard is charging $1 per month, and all you have is every single week somebody is coming up online to teach you something about life coaching or about business strategies every single day. So when you're doing that every single day, you're making sure that you go and really coach yourself. And for example, Brendan Burchard is also coming up every single month to do a 2-hour program up on that website. So either way, I understand that it's a $1 program, but understand that no matter what, I personally never do that, because I understand that what's important is I understand I give the knowledge for free, of course, but Brendan Burchard wants to charge you $1. I understand either way, I never price myself at $1. I price myself for free. I understand either way, that's a difference between me and that's the difference between me and Brendan Burchard. And I understand either way that you can, however, go and give him $1 because it's just $1. But understand either way that you get free information. And now information is worth it, or else it's worth the information. I mean, come on. I mean, it's Brendan Burchard. But understand, my information, you can get it for free. I mean, I do the same thing as Brendan Burchard, but he will give you a different idea. I mean, he'll give you different ideas, and he'll speak a different way, and he's a different, he is a different type of guru who's lived a different type of life. So if you're interested, you can go to him. I understand that what's important is make sure they understand that you go and invest your money in the best places. So understand that information is the way to go. So understand that the first 5 years of my life, I started to invest a lot of information in my life. I started to give money for all these audiobooks. I gave over $1,300 and I went to seminars and all of this to invest in the information, because that information helps me today to be a life coach, and it still helps me. So any type of money that you give towards information is worth it. I mean, understand it's worth it. I understand that I gave $13,000 to learn some skills at Australian Institute of Music so that I can be a music producer, and it's still valid today. I understand either way that what's important is understand that when you're going and growing up as a human being, you have to understand that you go and update the world about what's happening around the world, and make sure that you understand that when you're giving other people a chance, you have to understand understand that if you're building a business today, you have to understand you have to do it for free. You have to be a free business. I promise you, anything that's a free business is not sold on plastic money. I mean, understand that a free business, I realize a free business is the best kind of business. So when I give you free knowledge and I give you 1 billion ideas for free, I mean, isn't that the best business in the world? I mean, it's the best business in the world because I give you all the ideas for free. I mean, if I have to charge you for that, I realize now many people are charging for their ideas, I realize that's not the best business in the world then. Because the best business is free and not when you have to give them money or something plastic. I mean, you understand? I mean, either way, you have to give money to watch this video anyway in terms of plastic, because you have to get yourself internet at least. I understand either way that what's important is your time is something that I value. So I never charge you for the plastic money, because I don't work for plastic money. I work to make sure that you grow. I make sure that I grow. I make sure every single day that I'm just doing my work. So I do it for free. I don't do it for plastic money. I mean, you understand? I don't do it for plastic money. I realize that when anybody's charging plastic money for their information and website and all that, I realize they're working for plastic money, and I'm not working for plastic money, because I understand that what's important is freedom. I understand it's really help the people as much as you can and have enough plastic money to live your life, to do your passion, and that's that. And now anything that's 9 to 5 work is not really your passion. But understand either way that what's after a 9 to 5 job is really your passion. So what you do after 9 to 5 is really what you need to do, but you need to do it better. You have to understand, if family is your passion, you have to teach your family how to grow. I mean, now when you teach your family how to grow, you will also learn how to grow yourself, and then you make a YouTube channel and you teach everybody. I understand either way that what's important is you have to do YouTube today. You have to do YouTube today. You have to do Instagram. I understand now, for example, when I go on the streets, I understand many people do not notice me when they walk past. I realize they just look at my nice beautiful signs, and I realize they look at my name and they remember my name at least. I promise you, they'll remember my name down the track. I understand that what's important is I'm strategizing around Sydney right now to go on the street as much as I can. I understand that no matter what, I can get myself a long busking license, and then when I go around the street, I understand I stand in one spot somewhere as long as I can, and I promote myself all day long. But I understand it's really energy, and what I do is I understand I bring my food along with me. I understand that when I have food and energy, I'll go and place my nice beautiful audio tapes online somewhere in terms of life, and I go in the street and play all day long, because I have a nice beautiful speaker now that's even not, I mean, it's even, let's say, much more in terms of watts, and it has more power so that people can listen to my YouTube channel. Because before I had a small speaker where it does a job in terms of my videos, but I understand that projecting outward in terms of my sound going all the way down, I understand 100 meters, I understand either way that sound from that small speaker in terms of the 40 watt speaker doesn't do it. But I understand a 160 watt speaker can project your voice for 100 meters. I understand either way that pitch rate is 100 meters, And either way, I just go put it right there, and I'll just make sure everybody can hear me. And either way, I understand that most people are going to walk past you, and most people, most people are going to come and interview themselves with you. So if you're watching my beautiful busking videos, you understand I'm accumulating this nice, beautiful collection of courses, and I put it up online on YouTube because most people don't trust Mega Drive. I mean, they don't want to sign up to Mega Drive because they don't know what Mega Drive is. But I put it on YouTube because they're familiar with YouTube, because that is at least my resume. So my resume is all my courses on YouTube. And now it's either you trust me or don't. But guess what? I realized my YouTube channel, I put it in terms of my title. I may make a title. For example, I make a title and then I put Danny Milivojevic Instagram. And that's it. I promise you, that's where you find me. You find me on Instagram and YouTube, but my YouTube channel says my Instagram. And now either way, somebody from YouTube who sees my beautiful videos, I mean, they go on my Instagram because they see the tag in terms of my Instagram, and I also link them with my Instagram at the bottom link of the description, and I put a quote there. So every time I place a nice beautiful post into Instagram, I put one quote. I put 6 quotes a day into Instagram, and those 6 quotes, I put it into my quotes creator, and then I upload it into my Mega Drive. So I accumulate these quotes. So I work with quotes as I go along, and then each and every single video I post into my nice beautiful, let's say, YouTube. I understand everything's beautiful, and then I understand I put another quote, and then I put a link into my Instagram. So that's 7 quotes there. And then what I do around the Instagram Reels, because I realize there's Instagram Reels as well. So what Instagram Reels does is play 15 seconds of your video. I understand that when you play 15 seconds of your video, I mean, you have your nice beautiful YouTube channel, and you have your nice beautiful IGTV and Instagram Reel that has a 15-second video, but let's say IGTV goes up to an hour, but YouTube channel goes for 24 hours, so you can post videos as long as you want. But understand that you can also break them up in between and post them up online as quickly as possible with your phones today. I understand that before it used to be 15 minutes max with your phone, and now it's hours and hours you can post with your phone. I can actually post 6-hour videos. I can post 6-hour and 20-minute videos because I've tested it already in terms of my eye. I understand I can post 6-hour and 20-minute videos up into YouTube just by my phone and just with my phone. So I never use my laptop to upload anything online other than my music production. So I have a music production degree. I understand that when I have a music production degree, I learn from that degree. I learn how to make music, and then once I record all the nice beautiful sceneries of my nice beautiful music production, because I do music courses as well, and I have a music university, and I teach people how to make music inside of my beautiful music production, and I teach them how I make my own tracks. And that's that. I realize that you guys can always go and check out how I make my music. And now that's my music. I realize everybody else must make their own, I realize they must make their own courses, but I teach you basically in terms of my life how I make music, so that you can at least learn yourself how to go and do music production. So what happens is I have let's say I have 17 gigabytes of music recordings or videos inside of my laptop with music sections. I'm uploaded online into my Mega Drive storage. And that's why I have a Mega Drive storage, and that's why people don't trust Mega Drive storage, because it's new and it gives you 80 gigabytes of free storage data, where you understand that no matter what, that you can go and post 80 gigabytes of your photos or videos and files for free online, and then keep it there, and then you never will lose it. And then I understand either way, then you can go and subscribe to Mega Drive and give them $7 a month, and then have 400 gigabytes to post online, and then you can go 1 terabyte package, and then you can post 1 terabyte online, and then you can go 8 terabytes, and then you can go 16 and 32 and then unlimited. I mean, either way, I understand I'm never unlimited. I understand that what's amazing is understand that unlimited is a past tense word. I mean, unlimiting is something much better. So make sure you understand that it's unlimiting to go and post online into Mega Storage. So either way, you must understand to talk into a present moment. So anything with ing is something that you have to talk more about. So if you say that he's excited, or else now that means past tense, or else now understand that he's exciting, or else that's something right now. I mean, you understand? I mean, there's something of a big difference right there. I understand when I say, for example, I'm excited, I understand now I have to start with my I again, because I'm not excited, I am exciting. Or else now that's different, because exciting is right now. I understand now, for example, with YouTube and all that, you have to understand that when you go and promote yourself on the street now, I understand the best idea right now, in terms of my experience, I've been over 110 hours on the street. So this is something I accumulate with my ideas. I understand that since I have been doing public speaking on the street for 120 hours and more on the street, I understand that what's important is understand that when I go and do it, I learn, I grow. I mean, it's worth it. I get so curious about it, and even more, I get so exciting about it. I get so enthusiastic to go on the street today even, but it's raining. I understand I am wondering while I'm walking here whether or not to go Pitt Street or not, because I understand that when it's raining I don't want to go. So it's boo-hoo, but I understand either way I go and do my work either way. So what's important is I understand I promote myself regardless, but I understand that now I love to go on the street and public speak in front of people. I mean, it's so amazing and it's blissful, and I do more than my mentors. So when I do more than my mentors, I go and find a way to find a strategy every single day to go in front of people and to strategize myself around them and to eat on the go and bring my food in my trolley and my speaker and everything, so that I can go and pump up audio from YouTube channel, or I can go and, let's say, pump music in terms of my life. I can go and rap or sing on the street, and I can also go and act. I can go and do comedy shows. I can do anything on the street. I can do life coaching and public speaking, but I get myself a long busking license this time. I went and I got myself a nice beautiful 2-hour license every single day. I understand it's still valid until February. I understand either way that my next license goes up to 8 hours long. So either way, start slowly please, and make sure you understand that you go in segments. So realize that sometimes a long busking performance for you may not be worth it, because you may have too much, you may not have time to do busking 8 hours a day on the street. So make sure you understand that you start off slow, or if it really does work out, go get yourself a long license like I am, because it's much more worthy to get yourself a long license in terms of 8 hours a day than 2 hours a day. And realize you can stand in one spot where people are only, in terms of where a lot of people are, and you can stand there all day and people are massive right there. There's a massive crowd all the time there. So realize that's much more worth it than going and being there for 2 hours and then having to move somewhere else where there's less people. So understand that you go where more opportunity is. I understand, for example, now because of the coronavirus and all this that's, let's say, nicely going for I understand that either way, you must understand the borders are locked in terms of New South Wales and Queensland and South Australia and Northern Territory, and everything's being locked down. So understand either way that New Year's is now. I understand it's 2021, but I understand that what's important is I do my work. I understand now that Western Australia is, let's say, stuck. I realize they're all stuck in one area in terms of most of the people. I understand most of the people in the planet are stuck, but I understand that most of the people, in terms of 1% of the people who can travel and who can afford it, are traveling right now, and they're just going their way. But I understand that, for example, events like music in terms of Miami and all these festivals are all locked down. I understand that nightclubs and pubs and bars are opening up again around town. I understand they're open. I understand although that the festivals and nightclubs are now also promoting themselves as well, in terms of they're having 50 people in the nightclubs and all that on a Saturday and Friday night. But I understand that what's important is that the New South Wales and, let's say, the nice beautiful world is locked down. I understand although that it's not important. I understand that what's important is make sure that you understand Jesus Christ. I understand that every single day I go and focus on my life to go and promote myself as much as I can, because when I look at people, I look to see who is increasing their legacy and who is not. I understand from the past, I understand that there is one individual who is I understand I'm much better than all of them, so I have a greater legacy than all of them. I'm doing much more for my legacy than they are. I understand although that I try to inspire them to do their own legacy. I say to them, hey, I have 13,000 photos and you have less than 5 photos on Instagram. How does that work? I have 13,000 photos on Instagram, but you have 5 photos. Aren't I inspirational? Because that individual is going to look at me and I realize they're going to be inspirational about it. I realize they're going to be more enthusiastic to go and try to do what I do. Because imagine that. I realize I have 1 million photos on Facebook, but you have, I have 1 million photos on Instagram, but you never even started your photos. Aren't you more inspired? Of course you have to be, because you have to be inspirational about your face. I understand when I'm more inspirational about my face and what I do every single day, I'll go and focus my feelings upon the crowd, and I'll go and follow Jesus Christ. But I understand every single day, I focus to understand that I have to go and look with my feelings everywhere. I understand my feelings can vibrate all the way over there. So I go and really project my feelings forward while I speak and while I talk and while I do anything. I make sure to go around Sydney and make it my maze. I am like a mouse that is in Sydney doing my maze, in terms of I'm doing something of a puzzle around Sydney, because I'm testing all these ideas about street performance and street marketing, and I have to test it, I have to do it to understand how it goes, because most people are not doing it today, or else they're not doing street performance, and they're definitely not recording themselves on street performance. I understand that when I go and look at these people who are doing street performance around Sydney, I'm probably sure not one of them has a camera who is recording themselves doing it. Do you understand? Because they're missing out. They're missing out on their life. you have to understand that when you're going, or when you're going and doing a street performance, go and record it. Because look at my busking performances. I have over 75 videos inside of my Nice Beautiful YouTube account, and understand either way that I post everything first into my Mega Drive. So I post all my content first into an online storage, because just in case something happens where I may lose my phone or technology, I understand I at least put it into my Nice Beautiful Mega storage online. I understand, because if it goes into YouTube, I understand either way that only videos can go into YouTube. But everything else in terms of images and quotes and journals and PDF files is all very important, because my journals are very important because they teach you a load of information as well, but you have to read it physically. But either way, you have to read my quotes physically too, because they inspire you too, and they give you ideas that my videos don't. My journals give you other ideas that my quotes don't. Whereas my journals give ideas that my videos don't. Do you understand? So my videos and my information in terms of journaling and quotes and audios and also my videos give different types of information. It's all different, so you have to check it out. Either way, be interested about your life and do something interesting every single day to stay away from the crowd, because I understand that I have no time for other people when I'm increasing my legacy. I understand when I go and give my time to somebody, I go and understand to just be a smart ass, to just inspire them, because that way I understand to go back to I understand that they're not the way for me, you're not the way for me. I understand that you are the way and everybody's the way when I want to lift you only. I understand when I want to go up to you online to just send you some content so that you can go and help yourself, or else I can do that. Or else it's not a waste of time, is it? You're not a waste of time when I'm inspiring you. But if I just want to go around you to just hang around with you, Roger, that's a waste of time. Roger, it's a big waste of time when you're talking to people online, but you want to meet up with them. Literally, you want to meet up with them. Either way, you have to understand that's a waste of time, because go and focus on yourself rather than them. But if you want to talk to them online, you just send them some content here and there and inspire them every day if you want to, because it's worth it. Understand either way that if you inspire them, or else they will inspire somebody else, and either way, that's a good investment in your time. I understand either way that what's important is understand that it's always nice to message a girl who doesn't message you back. But make sure you understand that you inspire her. Every single day. Inspire them, and even if they don't message you back, keep inspiring them. Do you understand me? You don't need the messages. Just keep inspiring them. Fill them with messages every single year, and guess what? Or else they never have to reply. Do you understand? Just do some screenshots while you're at it, because guess what? Or else every single time I go and communicate to people online, I do a screenshot and I upload it online into a mega storage, and people can see how I communicate with people. So I'm teaching something in my communication anyway. I understand whenever I say anything in terms of your life, I understand that when I go and really say anything that's really going to help people, I understand I go and really dwell in my eye, I really go and focus upon my life. I understand that when I have to public speak or do a life coaching video, I go to pee and poop before my video and before the public speaking event, because I don't want to be staying on the stage or in front of people and say, I'm sorry guys, but I have to go to the toilet to do some business. Do you understand? So either way, that's embarrassing. So realize that it can happen, but if it does happen, realize this, or realize that you just go, because either way, or else it's better to go and just have a little pause or break and let somebody else speak for a bit so that you can go and do your business, because either way, realize that sometimes you must be busting. You have to understand that either way, that you don't have to bust, but just make sure that what's amazing is go and schedule your time every single day so that you can go to Martin Place, Australia, or to the post office here in Martin Place is where I'm sitting at. I'm sitting in this nice, beautiful way where there's a post office shop just there, but I understand either way that it's a nice break for me where I can go and grow. I understand I have no breaks, guys, so today I went on Netflix, I watched the whole season of some show, and I watched 3 seasons of some shows. I watched 2 cartoon shows, I watched also these nice, beautiful shows in terms of real life shows, so I watched Sabrina or something like that. I understand either way that the new shows, I don't care what the name of the films are, I care to just watch the images. I don't care about, I understand either way that when I look at the nice beautiful video, I understand when I look at the image and I recognize it and I watched it, I understand I'll never watch it again. I understand although that on Netflix, for example, in terms of Twitter, I understand they're watching Sabrina, but I understand either way, I watched it already in terms of my eye. I understand I watched all that in less than 10 minutes. The whole season of 4 seasons of Sabrina is trending on Twitter. But I understand I watched it already in 10 minutes because I just watched the images of all the seasons. I understand either way, that's what I do. I don't watch it start to finish. I don't watch the audio in the films. I don't listen to the audio in the films and cinemas anymore. I just watch the images, and they come up on Netflix, and I just watch the images on the thumbnails really quickly, and I enjoy to watch all these images because that's what teaches me something, or that's what really enables my life to really grow, because I see how people react. I see different ways or methods of explaining a different idea. I also understand that when people are looking and reacting in a different way, I understand it's funny in some ways. I understand they have funny expressions and funny faces, and I see how they dress. I see the setting. I see how much effort they put in. I understand, however, whatever they put into those nice, beautiful segments, I see how they orchestrate their videos and the images and the sound quality in terms of the quality of the video. I understand either way. I learn so much ideas and how people are reacting, and also in terms of how they are interacting with other people. So that's what I learn while I'm watching those images. And I don't need the words to show me that. I understand when I look at people just walking, I mean, there's two people over there and they're looking at a shop together. I understand they interacted with each other, so I can just look at them right now and they're teaching me something about how they interact, in terms of how they move with their body posture, in terms of how they move. I understand when they move together, I understand they love each other. So I understand when people are walking, I understand when people are walking together, I understand they love each other. So that's what's very important every single day. I understand that what's every single day is make sure that you go and really be more appropriate. So when you're a individual understands that no matter what, that you don't have to wear one of those coronavirus masks every single day. I don't ever wear those masks. I see many Australians here today wearing those masks. I don't have to wear one because I understand that either way, that if they make me wear one, I'll just wear it because I understand that I have no problem. But I just understand that the mask doesn't help you do anything. I mean, understand either way that they are just focusing on that pandemic. So understand that what you must realize every single day is focus on the greater world around you and focus on being the best version of yourself every single day, because what you need to do every single day is focus upon really marketing yourself. So expand your emotions, expand your emotions every single day and focus on really helping people. I mean, when you focus on helping people, you will be helping yourself along the way to find new ideas on how to do so, because that's how you learn. You learn on the go every single day. You learn how to really market yourself on the street performance, and understand that over the 120 hours that I've been doing my nice, beautiful public speaking on the street, I understand many people walk by and never see you again, but understand that many people will also see, they will see you again, and other people will also try to criticize you or try to be negative on you, but somebody will also, in terms of other people, will come and interview themselves with you, but as long as you invite them, so invite them over into your video and go and do a nice, beautiful entrepreneurship, nice, beautiful seminar in the street. And understand either way that I get myself 2 speakers now, because I have one speaker, but I'll get myself another speaker so that I can go and pump it up with 2 speakers, so I can have 4 nice, beautiful microphones on the street, so I can interview 4 people at once. I realize either way that what's important is go and realize that I'm a music producer as well, so I need 2 speakers so I can pump up my sound, and so that I can go and see how that sounds as well. I understand either way that I have to understand that right now, I realize any plastic money I do gain, I understand I'm really understanding that it's really by the time management. I realize it's really in the health. I realize it's really that I'm always saving my money in terms of life. I realize that anything I'm saving, I'm giving them money in terms of the ideas. I realize it's not about plastic money, and it's not about how you're getting plastic money. Whereas plastic money is not the result. Whereas it's not worthy of your attention. Whereas what's worthy of your attention is the wisdom you give. I promise you, everything that the wisdom is what you do. Whereas now, you have to understand that you may be saying, oh, but plastic money is worth it. I understand either way that what's important is understand that wisdom and teaching people is much more important than plastic money. I need you to understand that I don't work for plastic money. I don't work for plastic money, so it's not the resort. I understand it's not something that I want to charge you with. I understand that it's not something that I prevent you from looking at me. I understand many people place $2,000 for this video, and they go and charge people, and they say they say $100,000 per hour to have me as a coach. I mean, who's gonna really give them the money? I mean, come on. I mean, you have to understand that nobody will give you that money. I promise you that either way. I heard somebody is giving $1 million per hour or something to Tony Robbins. I promise you that it can be bullshit. I mean, do you understand? I mean, it can be bullshit. I mean, come on. I mean, understand that what's important is understand that what you realize is make sure every single day that you don't just believe what people say. I mean, don't just believe what people say. I mean, find out for yourself and ask Tony Robbins himself. I mean, do you understand? I mean, don't just go to somebody who just says that this man is getting this much money. I mean, go and give them $5,000 so that you go ask Tony Robbins and give him $5,000 so you can ask him that question. And do you really make $1 million per hour, as people say? I mean, go and ask him and realize you'll get the answer. And then either way, you'll find out. But don't go for other people to find out about other people. I mean, go directly to the person and ask him the question, is this true about you? I mean, is this what you really mean? And if you say that's what you really mean, I realize that's because other people are honest about you then. I realize if it's no, and let's say somebody says that you cheated on this woman or man, and is it true, but they're asking you. And you say no, but I realize the crowd's lying then because they're saying that you cheated on someone. You understand? But guess what? I realize that no matter what, you find out that the crowd is really cheating on you about this because they're talking smack about you. But either way, if you say yes, that you did cheat on someone, and then guess what? I realize they're going to believe the crowd over you, and that means that your reputation fell and their reputation is going up because they're talking about the truth and you are not. I mean, either way, that if you say yes, you are truthful in that manner. So either way, you just say, if you do cheat on somebody, you just have to realize that you go away from them altogether. And either way, understand that they are somebody that you don't want in the first place. So why would you cheat on them anyway? So realize there's always something better for you to do. But if you do get cheated on, you have to understand that what you do, otherwise what you do is make sure that you just receive it with an open hand, and you can choose whether to take them back or not. But understand that for myself, I understand no matter what, I just move on. I move on. I don't need some woman cheating on me and then coming back on me. I don't need them in my life. I understand that if a woman cheats on me, I just make sure I move on. I accept her. I just want to move on now because I understand that she may do it again. I understand she may do it again now. I mean, do you understand? So realize that I don't trust an individual who cheats on me like that. So what I do is I just move on. I accept her. I accept her completely. I welcome her back, but I don't welcome her back in my house. I don't welcome her back 1 meter with me anymore. I welcome her totally. I mean, go on my YouTube channel. I mean, go and read every single day. I mean, you understand? I mean, go and get my ideas. I mean, go and really educate yourself about myself every single day. I welcome you all the time. But understand to be around me though. I mean, no, I will never be around that woman or those people who are backstabbing me and talking crap about me because I understand they hate me and understand I have a better idea. I have something better to do every single day. So I focus on understanding that when you drink water, for example, when I realize when you drink 2 bottles of water before your public speaking gig and you don't go to the toilet, but then you don't feel like going to the toilet because you drank 2 bottles of water, but then while you're walking, you don't feel like toilet. But then as you're doing your life coaching, public speaking talk or something like that, or you're doing a public speaking performance or performance in front of a crowd, I mean, be very careful because after 1 hour of drinking 2 bottles of water, in terms of 600 ml, you will need to go to the toilet. I mean, 1 hour. So understand that 2 bottles of water at 600 ml, I understand either way that 1 hour after, you will need to go to the toilet. So be careful very much in terms of how you really drink those, or I mean, how you really drink in terms of your life. So either way, sometimes I get really exciting in terms of my life. I understand when you get excited, you have to understand you get exciting. I understand when I get exciting. I understand when I get really enthusiastic and really interested in terms of my life, in terms of I understand when I go really interesting and I start to do something very charismatic and curious and something that's interesting, I get very intense. I have to go to the toilet then. I have to go to the toilet and do a pee, for example, because it's all this excitement. Do you understand? So realize that sometimes to go to the toilet, you may get very exciting about your life and you may have much more happiness. So that's why you have to go to the toilet. So realize either way, that is one way that you can also understand how you go to the toilet and how you do all that. But I understand when I wake up, I usually understand that after a night's, let's say after dinner, I understand that I don't usually have to go to the toilet after dinner, but I understand that, let's say I wake up, I'll understand I eat dinner and then I go to sleep and then I wake up and that's when I have to go to the toilet. I mean, do you understand? So realize every single day I wake up, I have to go to the toilet first thing in the morning. I understand that's when I have to go to the toilet. So find out when you have to go to the toilet and when you have to pee and when you have to poop, and understand either way that it's much more of an idea for you to understand your schedule. So I have to go poop when I wake up every single morning or afternoon or whatever. I just have to go once I wake up. I understand I have to go to the toilet once I wake up. I mean, straight away, I have to go to the toilet. I understand either way, that's how I work. I understand either way that when I drink 2 bottles of water, I have to go to the toilet 1 hour later. I mean, do you understand? So either way, I understand that what's important is when you're finishing a video, you go and do your video, and I always have plenty of more time. I understand that now, I understand it's still sprinkling outside. I understand that no matter what, that what's important is I can still go and do a life coaching video. I can still go to Pitt Street Mall. I can still go other places right now because it's really 4:23. I can still go to my own place until 8 o'clock. I can go and really busk over there and I can go and do a street performance because I understand that the rain can stop in, let's say, 15 minutes, and then I can go totally. And then it may start again, but if it starts again, I come here again and I finish off the 1 hour video. I mean, do you understand? So what happens is I have to go and realize that no matter what, I have to also go to the toilet. So what's important is when I go and do my videos, I just finish up the video in terms of life, and then I go, because I understand I can hold it a bit. I understand either way that what's important is just make sure that you go and realize that you have to be adaptable. So the way I'm adaptable now is I understand I look at the weather, I understand it's still sprinkling, so I won't even go to public speaking performance on the street at Pitt Street or Marketplace right now. But I can go to the pub or something in terms of just somewhere where there's a toilet around so that I can go and pee, because I understand I have so much enthusiasm right now because I drank 2 bottles of water. But I understand either way that I was very dehydrating myself before. I understand either way I'm still now. I understand that what's important is make sure that when you're dehydrating yourself, you have to understand that it's before that you're doing it and not now. Because when you're dehydrating yourself now, I mean, why do you do that? I mean, why don't you be hydrating yourself over dehydrating yourself? So I understand when you're dehydrating yourself, you only do that before. You only do that in the past. So talk about that in the past tense. You say before, I hydrate myself now, but I dehydrate myself before. I mean, before is not important, but what's important is now. I understand now, everything from your past is important when you're teaching people about skills they need to learn. So I understand that's something that's important, but if you just want to waste people's time and you just want to hang around with them, or else it's because you have no value. So I understand that I used to be an individual who understands that no matter what, that I was calling up people before to just hang around with them. I wanted to go with them to the Net Cafe, I wanted to go with them partying, I wanted to go with them for a drive, I wanted them to come with me to the city for nightclubbing, I wanted them to come with me everywhere. I wanted them to come to my house. I mean that's all boring. So if you have friends who are coming over your house today, I mean, it's because you're bored and you have no life. I mean, if you have people, in terms of, let's say, people who are going into your family right now and who are in your family who have no YouTube channels, otherwise it's because none of you will be anybody. I mean, you understand? I mean, none of you will be anybody because you have a family of people who don't even have a YouTube channel, and your Instagrams, in terms of your family's Instagrams, is all private, and maybe one of your Instagrams, in terms of your family, has a Instagram that's public, for example, but they have no bio link and they have no business. I mean, they have no YouTube channel, and they just say something randomly on Instagram, and they have 5 photos on Instagram. I have 1,300 posts on Instagram and more. So realize if you're that type of family and you have those people around you, I mean, get away from them, because they're not going to teach you how to be a millionaire, and they're not going to teach you how to be a star, and they're not going to increase your legacy, and they're going to just waste your time. So realize those are the individuals I stay away from, because that's my biological family, and I stay away from them because my biological dad doesn't have Instagram and doesn't have YouTube. I mean, understand that my biological dad has a YouTube channel, or else now he gives up on his singing already, or else he gave up on his singing career, and that's it. Or else now whatever's his YouTube channel now is something that he doesn't really post much on it anymore, and that's that. Or else he's finished. I understand either way that he's not finished. I understand he's just finishing up. I mean, he's finishing up now. I mean, there's no life anymore for him to sing. I mean, you understand? So I realize I stay away from him because he doesn't teach me about business and life. I mean, you understand? Because of that. I mean, that's the only reason. I mean, do you understand? I mean, he doesn't teach me. And also, he's a smoker, and I don't want to be around smokers. I mean, do you understand? I don't want to be around smokers. I don't want to be around people who's... I mean, do you understand? I mean, who blow smoke in my face. I don't want to be around those people. I understand either way. I don't want to be around drug addicts. I don't want to be around people of the past because they are jealous of me every time I post something. I give them inspirational content and they're jealous of me. I mean, do you understand? I mean, how does that work? So either way, I understand when you're talking to people now, I want you to really talk to them, to inspire them, but never see them in terms of see them, but never be with them. I mean, never go to them. I mean, do you understand? I mean, just be online somewhere. I mean, just be around town, but don't go where they go. I mean, don't go to the nightclubs they go. I mean, don't go where your family go. I mean, don't do what your family does. I mean, don't do what the crowd does around you because they are finished in terms of life. I understand either way that they are finishing up their life. I realize they're all finished. I understand either way, the way you understand that everybody has a chance to always turn it around. I understand, although that most people never do. Unfortunately, most people never turn it around. Unfortunately, most people never turn their life around, and understand that I'm one who actually turned my life around in terms of my eye. I turn my life around in a better way all the time now because I understand I did it once, I do it again, I do it once, I only ever do it once. I understand when I realize when I look like this, I never look twice, I look once. Or as they say, look twice. I mean, go left and right. I understand left and right is one time. I mean, one time and one time and one time and one time. I look one time again. I can look one time over and over again. I stick to the one time. I do it one time because one time is the only time, and the one time is when you learn. But when you're repeating the same thing over and over, I mean, as Albert Einstein said, or is that it causes you to be insane and crazy. And people who are insane and crazy are egotistical, and people who are worse than yesterday. So realize that when you want to learn, you learn the video one time. I mean, that's it. You don't keep repeating the same video that you've learned already. I mean, you understand? You move on. I realize that this video, you keep repeating it until you understand it. I mean, there's no amount of times that you have to strictly watch this video. I mean, understand that what's important is if you watch it twice over, you'll learn more. I promise you, you'll learn more. I promise you, if you learn it over and over again, I promise you, eventually you're going to come to a conclusion and you're going to say, I understand you now. And then you move on. Whereas now, once you move on from the video, whereas that's when you actually can go and do your life. Whereas when you do your life in a way that you're going to succeed, or else you succeed in a way that really helps you to understand that no matter what you're doing, that you just do you. Or else when you do you, you be stronger. And that way you understand either way you're smarter than before. And understand that when you're promoting yourself every single day on the street, I mean, make sure that you're going and doing something very credible for yourself. I mean, go and understand to not piss right here where you go and do a street performance, or where you go and do a life coaching video. I mean, I have to pee, but why would I pee right here where I have to sit here and I have to go and do my content? I mean, do you understand? So that's ugly. So make sure you go to the toilets only to piss or pee or poop. I mean, don't go getting toilet paper and go into the bush. I mean, don't do that anymore, because understand that I used to understand that no matter what, that if you have to and it's an emergency and you're somewhere in the middle of nowhere, I mean, it can be a good idea to do it, but make sure to make it plan A. I mean, make it plan A for you to always go to the toilets to pee and poop, because that's where you pee and poop. But make it plan B to go into the bush to pee and poop. I mean, make it plan B, but plan B, I mean, just revert to the plan A. I mean, always go plan A. But if there is no chance in hell that you can do plan A, I mean, you can go and do plan B. I mean, do you understand? So realize either way, I grew up with my grandfather, and as I was growing up, I understand either way, I'm still growing up. I understand I went into the nice, beautiful toilet, and I realized that there was no toilet paper, but I realized that there's all these corn, or there's a corn from the nice, beautiful, let's say the corn's gone, but it's the stick from the corn, and then I just go and wipe my beautiful ass, or my bum, or my butthole. I understand either way, it's a word. I mean, just relax. I mean, it's just a word. I understand either way. You must understand that I go and describe it as much as possible, because that's what it is. I mean, understand that it's not disgusting. I mean, your butthole is not disgusting. I mean, understand? I mean, everything's beautiful. I mean, understand? I mean, everything's beautiful. I mean, just realize that nothing is disgusting in this world unless you make it. I understand now. I don't want to touch a butthole. Actually, that's disgusting for me. I mean, you understand? Or else, either way, you must understand that what's not disgusting is what you do. I mean, understand every single day. I realize that what's happening every single day is understand that I have to go and really wipe my butthole with one of those corns, and I realize that's how I grew up with my grandfather like that. I understand that's how we did it before. I understand either way that no matter what, we were using the corn as a nice, beautiful toilet paper. And then what do you do with the corn? You just throw in the bin. I mean that's that, because I mean on the farm, I grew up on the farm. I understand I was 5 years of age. I understand either way. I understand that what's important is it's a new experience, and you have to understand that you're actually itching to scratch as well when you're, or else when you're really wiping your butthole with one of those corn sticks. I mean, do you understand? And there's no corn on it. I mean, just the stick. I mean, either way, it's very funny, because that's how I grew up. I understand either way. That's the farm. I mean, those are the farm days. I understand my grandfather had all these corn pieces, and he throws them in the shredder, and the corn falls out, and then he feeds the corn to the pigs, and then he has all this corn, or else he has all this corn that has no corn on it, or else it's corn sticks, and then he puts it as toilet paper. I mean, you understand? So either way, I mean, you just go wipe your ass with it. I realize either way, or else that's how I grew up. I understand no matter what. I realize that it's a good time. I understand either way, that's the first time ever I've done it, and I understand I realize that's the last time. I understand either way that what's important is understand. I just realize every single time, I mean, just describe everything, but understand words is a word. I mean, butthole or whatever. I mean, understand whatever word is out there. I mean, don't find it rude. I mean, don't find words rude. I mean, if I swear at your mother and I say, fuck your mother, I mean, don't be rude about it. I mean, understand that words are not rude. I mean, understand that if you find that rude, or else it's because you're rude like that. Or else that's because or else because you say that. I mean, you understand? I mean, that's because you say that. I mean, in a sense, so understand that any kind of word that I may say to directly hurt you is not rude. I mean, it's not rude unless you make it rude. I mean, you understand? I mean, why do you label my words rude? I mean, why do you label my words negative? Because if you label my words negative and rude, or else that's what you are. I mean, now, don't label my words at all. I mean, if you listen to my words, I mean, just listen to my words, but label the I. And how many times I say I, for I love you. I mean, just label that word, and that's it. I mean, don't label any other word that I say, because if you label and judge me upon anything of my other words in a way that is not I understand, then you fall into the trap of being what you judge me as. So if you call me an asshole because I said this and this, or else that's why you're an asshole. I mean, you understand? I promise you, if you label me in terms of I, or else that's because you are I now. I mean, you understand? So realize what you label me in terms of my communication is what you are. So if you say he has a great attitude, or else that's because you have a great attitude. Or else if you call that individual homeless, or else it's because you are homeless. I mean, be careful. I mean, don't say anything about who is homeless and who is, let's say, on the street and who is negative and who's that. I mean, now, if you say that, I need you to understand that you use the I. I need you to say, I understand that guy's homeless. I understand that guy's negative. I get away from him. But I understand, but that when I say that, I really mean that it's really I. I don't mean to say that he's negative or homeless or she's negative or homeless. I understand that I may label them like that, but I understand my I, and to never label anybody anything other than I. So I really understand to say that is I, and that is I. But I understand either way that if I call somebody negative, I may say that is I. I may say I is that. I understand either way. I may say that individual is negative, but I know who I am in my I. I understand who they are, though. I understand who they are. I understand why they are negative. I understand why, because I know my I. And then what I do is, I may say that individual is negative. I understand though that I go back to the I and I say, I is everything. I is everything. I am that individual. I understand that is I, either way. I don't get confused about my words. I don't call them negative and criticize them on that negative word. I mean, the negative word is not important. I understand that what's important is I. I go back to the I and I say, no matter what, I realize that individual is negative, but I understand it's I. I understand either way that is a nice, beautiful way for me to say that no matter what you're doing every single day, you go and focus upon your ability to really, let's say, do your video, and just make sure either way that you go and really even pause the video sometimes when you need to. I understand when you do that, you actually, let's say, you will continue it, and when you continue it, I realize there's nothing that goes wrong, but understand that there's nothing in life that's wrong and there's nothing in life that's right. I understand that what's important every day is focus upon what you need to do, but sometimes if you really need to hold it, I realize sometimes you may need to hold it, or sometimes you may need to hold a pee and poop. You understand? So realize you must understand to hold it and then do a public speaking event and make sure that you go in the best time. So either way, I understand what's important every single day. Because I finish off my 1 hour in this video, I understand that when I do that, I find new ways of really strategizing with you and really performing in the best way I can, because that's what a life coach does. I realize that's what anybody does who wants to be the peak performer. I understand the peak performer does the best they can every single day. I mean, just as Dean Graziosi says in his book, Millionaire Success Habits. So realize you can go and read that book. I understand it's worth it. So it's going to teach you some more knowledge about everything, but go to everybody for knowledge. And don't just go to me, I mean, go to everybody, because everybody is promoting something for free in terms of knowledge. So realize even websites online, I understand big supermarkets and all that are promoting some content for free. So make sure every single day you go and every single day focus upon your life and focus upon living your life in a better way, but focus in a way that you go and listen to your body when you need to go to the toilet. I understand either way that what's important is when you're focusing on yourself and when you focus on your body, and when it says go to the toilet and go to the pee and poop, I mean, go right away and just pause your video, because it's something that is worth it. I realize that otherwise you may have problems with your intestines and you may have problems really going to the toilet then, because understand that you must listen to your body when you have to go to the toilet. I mean, in a sense, so when you have to go to the toilet, you go to the toilet right away, because otherwise you have problems going to the toilet. I mean, in a sense, so realize that's the only way that you can clear any kind of sinuses or any kind of disease, which is making sure that you never prevent anything. So understand that you're not a disease, but make sure you prevent something that can be a disease every single day. So understand that when you have to go to the toilet, you go right away, otherwise you're blocking yourself. So never block yourself to go to the toilet, but listen to your body. I mean, do you understand? I mean, when you're listening to your body, you're also listening to a way, you're listening to a way where you're dehydrated. So when you're dehydrated, you have to understand that no matter what, you go and drink something. I mean, listen to your body and understand that's what health is, and understand no matter what, you go and do your best every single day and be your best version and know your I.